बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला रसूलिल करीम व अला आलिहि व सहबिहि अजमईन। Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's our pleasure to welcome you to the departmental orientation of Department of Education for Spring 2025 semester. On this note, I would like to welcome respected Professor Dr. Morena, the head of the department, and Sister Sarah is also with us. Sister Sarah, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear students, welcome to the Spring 2025 orientation session for the Department of Education at the International Open University. We are thrilled to have you with us on this journey.
Thank you. Wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Yeah, Sister Sarah, please go ahead.
Now, this orientation is designed to help you understand what lies ahead in your academic experience and how best to prepare for success, inshallah. Here is a quick look at what we'll cover today. We'll talk about why education is such a powerful and noble field. We'll explore the various career paths available in education. We'll go through our programs and learning methodology. And finally, we'll walk you through practical tips on managing your time and responsibilities effectively. And then, inshallah, we'll end with a question and answer session to address any questions that you may have. Now, education is more than a profession. It's in fact a mission. It is a continuous act of nurturing minds and shaping futures. As Muslims, we recognize that seeking and spreading knowledge is an act of ibadah, a means to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to serve humanity. So let's begin by reflecting on why a career in education is not just a job and why it's actually a calling. Education is one of the most powerful tools we have to transform lives as well as societies. As Muslims, we are guided by the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said, "When a person dies, all their deeds end except three: a continuing charity, beneficial knowledge, and a righteous child who prays for them." This means that by engaging in the field of education, which is actually about how to educate and how to nurture minds, you are not only earning a livelihood, you are earning ongoing reward as well. Every student you help understand a concept, every child whose future you shape, every community you uplift through learning, you become a part of their growth even beyond your lifetime. So choosing education as a field means choosing how to serve. Whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in the farm, whether it's in communities, or even within your family. The skills you develop here at IOU will empower you to be a light bearer in a world filled with misinformation, injustice, and ignorance, inshallah. Now, even when we reflect on the beautiful ayah from Surah Al-Alaq, and here we can see the meaning of the translation: read in the name of your Lord who created. So we can see that even these verses remind us that education is deeply spiritual. It's a trust from Allah that must be pursued sincerely and ethically. So what can you do with a degree in education? The possibilities are in fact numerous. From teaching and administration to counseling and social work, education equips you to serve in roles that have a lasting impact. So let's explore some of these possible avenues. The first one of these is teaching and training. Now, teaching is the most recognizable role in the education field and also one of the most impactful. So whether you are teaching in a formal school, conducting homeschool programs, facilitating online classes, or delivering Islamic knowledge in community settings, your role is to shape understanding as well as character. With IOU's strong focus on pedagogy and Islamic integration, our graduates are equipped to teach both secular as well as religious subjects in a way that aligns with Islamic ethics. So, in short, teachers create lesson plans and tests to educate students on specific subjects depending upon their age and skill. Teaching and training of teachers also involves analyzing and reporting progress back to the parents. It is also a responsibility that a teacher must complete, as well as creating and reinforcing rules for the classroom. So, and furthermore, if you decide to specialize in early childhood education, which involves laying the foundation for lifelong learning or special education, where you can learn to support students with diverse learning needs, teaching can also take the form of adult education or teacher training, as I've mentioned, and this is where you guide others in how to teach effectively. So as an IOU graduate, you might work in private or Islamic schools. You can join online education platforms. You can join international NGOs that are where the main focus is on literacy. And you can even join madrasas where modern pedagogy is being integrated. Another pathway that you can take is that related to educational administration. Now, beyond the classroom lies the world of leadership roles in educational institutions as well. Educational administrators ensure schools and learning environments run smoothly and effectively. This includes principals, curriculum coordinators, school inspectors, or academic deans. As an administrator, you help make important decisions about curriculum development, teacher training, budget planning, and student policies. You will be a part of shaping the culture and mission of your institution, which is also important in Islamic education settings where ethical leadership is vital. So you can imagine yourself developing policies that promote inclusivity in an Islamic school, or even designing teacher evaluation tools that are fair as well as growth oriented. Now, these are not just technical skills. They are actually opportunities to bring barakah into educational leadership. Another important pathway that you can pursue is related to school counseling. Now, education as we understand it is just not about the academic parts, right? It's also about the emotional and psychological domains. So this is because many students face challenges such as bullying, low self-esteem, trauma, or even anxiety. So a school counselor supports their emotional well-being and ensures a safe, nurturing, as well as learning environment. Now, with a background in education, you will be well equipped to understand both learning as well as behavioral concerns. You'll also be trained to collaborate with teachers, parents, and administrators to create individualized plans for students who need extra support. Now, at IOU, our emphasis on Islamic counseling values means you'll learn how to approach students with compassion, respect, as well as confidentiality. All all of these things lie within the framework of Islamic ethics. And then, of course, you can always um, pursue education as a form of social work. Now, education and social justice do go hand in hand. Social workers with a background in education play a critical role in addressing issues like child abuse, school dropouts, as well as barriers to access in education. And this is particularly true for underserved communities. Now, this path is also ideal for those who want to work beyond the walls of a regular school or those of a regular classroom. Perhaps in refugee camps, maybe in rural schools, orphanages, or with children with disabilities. So you can imagine yourself being a liaison between a struggling student's home and school. Imagine yourself helping them access food, learning supplies, as well as gaining access to proper emotional support. You can also work with community organizations, government agencies, as well as Islamic charities to advocate for better access to education. So your education at IOU equips you with not only the theory, but also the values to be a strong, ethical, and effective advocate for those who need it most. So now let's have a look at IOU's commitment to excellence. Now at IOU, we don't just offer degrees. We offer purpose-driven, flexible, and affordable education that's deeply rooted in Islamic values. Our mission here is to empower educators who not only teach, but also inspire and nurture minds. So the programs we offer include the following. We have the Bachelor of Education, we have the MEd program, we have the Diploma and Certificate programs, as well as the PGCE. Now, each program is crafted to meet different learning needs as well as career goals. Let's have a look at how the credits are calculated. Now, our programs follow a structured credit-based system. Each course carries credits based on content as well as assessment. Now, ensure that you are aware of your credit load per semester because this is really important, as it will affect your pace as well as your graduation timeline. Now, we are honored to have Professor Dr. Moraina leading the Department of Education. His experience and leadership set the tone for excellence and innovation in our department. Now let's have a look at the names of the members of our faculty. Now at IOU, we are blessed with a diverse and accomplished team of faculty members from around the globe. Their backgrounds range from pedagogy to policy, research, as well as curriculum development. Inshallah, you'll have the opportunity to learn from and interact with all of them throughout your academic journey. Now let's have a look at the basic methodology that you'll have to follow here at IOU. Now IOU uses a virtual learning environment that is asynchronous yet structured. You'll access lectures that are pre-recorded and you'll have access to live sessions as well. You'll be able to submit online assessments. You'll be able to participate in discussion forums, and you'll be able to sit for assessments entirely online with a balance of flexibility as well as accountability. Now, your grades will be determined through a mix of MCQs, essay-type questions, depending upon your course, assignments, as well as your participation. So make sure to stay consistent and check the course-specific breakdowns on your LMS related to your particular course. Now, to graduate, you need to complete a minimum of 480 credits in minimum of 4 years. You need to complete your practicum requirements and fulfill any additional criteria as outlined by the Senate for your particular degree or for your particular certificate program. Now let's go through a few important protocols for contacting teachers. Now it's important to maintain professionalism when you are contacting faculty. You can use the IOU email as well as the official forums as well. Always mention your student ID, your course name, and specific details, like module or the quiz number that you are talking about. And also please allow up to 2 working days for responses. And please keep in mind that queries and discussions should be through the official channels only, that is through emails as well as through forums. Furthermore, faculty members should only be contacted for issues related to course materials, or in case if you are having trouble understanding a particular concept mentioned in a particular video or in a reading material, you may contact the faculty member. Furthermore, quiz reset applications should only be done through the quiz application portal and not through email. And then, as I've mentioned, please give the faculty members at least up to 2 working days to respond to your emails. Now let's have a look at a few time management tips that might inshallah prove to be helpful throughout your journey here at IOU. Now, success in online learning hinges on effective time management. Check your emails as well as your portal daily. Build a study routine that includes breaks. Keep in mind that students who spend at least an hour every day of the week, or at least 15 to 30 minutes every morning, simply checking emails, class announcements, and all online portals before starting work for the day can end up being more productive. Furthermore, getting a clear sense of responsibilities and prioritizing accordingly makes a difference as well. It is also important for you to create a routine and make sure that you ensure flexibility in that routine. Now, in the work from home context, paper planners have the added benefits of giving our eyes a much needed break from screens as well. Paper planners also tend to be more effective as compared to their digital substitutes. Keep in mind that physical well being matters as well. Don't forget to stretch, hydrate, and take mindful breaks. Good mental and physical health boosts your productivity as well as your learning. Now, the overall workload is usually reduced considerably with asynchronous systems. However, this is not always true. The most important thing, as I've mentioned, is to ensure that is to make sure that you have understood the concepts well. Now, if students finish their assignments early, the remainder of the work blocks should be used to review challenging content on your own or on their own by consulting textbooks, watching online tutorials, or solving related practical problems. And as I've mentioned before as well, your physical health is important. So in moments of restlessness or distraction, keep in mind that exercise can be energizing. Keep a regular sleep schedule, which will actually help you to stimulate creativity and productivity throughout the day. So what are some of the possible challenges that you may come across throughout this journey? Now, we understand that online learning can sometimes feel overwhelming initially, especially with new platforms and independent schedules. However, at IOU, you are not alone. IOU has a support system in place to help you overcome each and every challenge. So there is a need for continuous reminders. So keep in touch with your fellow students through the student discussion forums, and keep in mind that in case you need to contact your instructor related to any concept, make sure that you do that timely in order to understand the concept properly. Now let's have a look at a few bottlenecks as well. Now, avoid common pitfalls. This means that don't leave things till the last minute. Make sure that you are well aware of your deadlines, and make sure that you attend review sessions. Our review sessions for certain courses take place before the midterm exams and before the end term sessions. Make sure that you do take time out of your routine to attend those sessions and to ensure that you clear up any sort of confusions that you may have with your instructors. Again, discipline and consistency, as I've mentioned, are your keys to success. Now I'm going to talk about a few important points or guidelines related to assignment writing. And let's begin by talking about referencing. Now, whenever you're writing your assignments, make sure that you follow the APA format. Use APA referencing and rely only on authentic academic sources. And also try to avoid the use of AI-generated responses at verbatim. Plagiarism is a serious offense in your assignments as well as in your exams. This is because it undermines your learning and violates academic integrity. Ensure that you always submit original work and always cite your sources appropriately. Make sure that you don't copy and paste entire articles from the internet. Ensure that if you're quoting someone else's work, you are providing the right references, and also ensure that whenever you're using someone else's ideas or words, you reference those properly as well. Now, this brings us to the next important points related to avoiding plagiarism. Ensure that you use quotation marks around a quote and always cite the source. Again, reference all quotations and citations properly, reword and paraphrase. It is often noted that students just take certain points from Google or from a website from Google and they forget to paraphrase. This is also a form of plagiarism. Ensure that you don't write word for word what you have read. Take notes first in your own words and then write your assignment from your notes and not from that text. Now, this brings us to our question and answer session. And I will request Dr. Morena to take over from here in case we have any questions.
Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much, Sister Sarah, for that wonderful presentation. So she has actually put us through the Department of Education, the different programs that we run in education, and the uniqueness of IOU as regards to the degree in education, because IOU is a flexible university, and of course, the Islamization of knowledge is the key priority in IOU. And I want to assure the respective students, of course, the new students and those that will still be enrolling for IOU, especially in education, that they are in the right track, they are in the right position, where we try as much as possible to instill knowledge, discipline, and morality according to Islamic teachings, according to the Quranic and prophetic ideology. We are assuring our listener out there that IOU is ready to train individuals, especially in education, to acquire the necessary skills for teaching and pedagogical development, so that we can go back to our various countries to improve teaching and learning industry, inshallah bi Rahman. So thank you very much for your insightful discussion, Sister Sarah. And I want to also thank our listener and also the admin officers of IOU for bringing the Department of Education to this discussion. And inshallah bi Rahman, we are going to be available for any questions, any clarifications, or any challenges. So I also want to indicate that in IOU, we try as much as possible to allow our students to complete their programs within the specified period of time. There is no problem as regards to strike or any crisis. And of course, our virtual learning environment is so flexible that the students could easily navigate within our system. We have the announcement pages, we have the Ask Teacher pages, we have the MCQ error, where students can actually lay their complaint as regards to multiple choice questions. Maybe I was marked wrong and I observed that my question is correct. You know, this is a university where we take our students as our priority, and then we are not partial, we are not biased. We look at their various circumstances, and of course, we are not rigid. So we try as much as possible to be flexible and to also assure our listener that different cultural perspectives are also put in place in the design of our curriculum. And of course, our curriculum in education is also the best international practices. So believe me that when you come to the Department of Education in International Open University, you are going to be a different person entirely, who will be able to go back to your various environments to also improve the teaching, learning. Then all challenges that people do put forward, just that I want to conclude my discussion now, is that some people believe that online university is more of interacting with computer, and of course, the teachers are not available to guide the student. This is just a fallacy. And I'm actually assuring us that in International Open University, you have not less than 3 lecturers or 3 teachers attached to a particular module. Why did I say 3 officers? Number one, you have a particular lecturer that are taking certain courses. The secondly is that you have the admin officer who is in charge of, administrative process of that particular course. Then at the same time, we have a technical officer who is in charge of any technical challenges that the student may be facing at any particular point in time. So our students are a priority, and I look forward to receive you at the Department of Education. Thank you very much. The admin, please, over to you. Brother from student supervisor, please, over to you.
Yes, brother, there are no questions which have been posted. So if there are any, we'll wait for it. Otherwise, let's see. We are waiting for any questions.
Okay. Yeah, when you are still checking for possible questions from our listener, let me also emphasize the fact that the students that have just gotten the admission into IUU, we have the structure of hierarchy in the university. In the university is something that you can also learn at your hand. You can identify that we have the chancellor, we have the vice chancellor, we have the deputy vice chancellor, but from the departmental perspective, in the department, we have the head of department. So the head of department in the department oversees all the necessary affairs within the department. And alhamdulillah, Sister Sarah has just given us the highlights of the members of the faculty within the department. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that if there are any challenges from your hand, or you are unable to post your question right now, you still have the opportunity when you have enrolled in your courses, you have your course lecturer. So this course lecturer could be one of these members that we have highlighted. We highlighted almost 11 lecturers. And you can see that all of them are experienced individuals from different countries, even beyond West African country. So this gives the student the opportunity to learn a lot of cultural differences, a lot of cultural perspective across the globe. So it's more of you being in different countries, at a particular time. For instance, even in education, for instance, I can say specifically that I have about lecturers from not less than 7 countries. So if you study in the Department of Education, for instance, you are able to visiting 7 countries within the 4 years. So, that is if you are running the degree, or depending on the number of years that you are using to, operate your program. So what I'm saying in essence is that if you enroll for a particular course or a particular module, and you want, we have a semester 1, semester 2, and so on and so forth. So in semester 1, for instance, spring 2025, you enroll for a particular course, for instance, maybe ESP 101. So you have access to your course lecturer. You check your announcement page to look at various information from your course lecturer. So, and of course, the course lecturer also have tried as much as possible to post what is called announcement. In that announcement, you have access to the email address of your lecturer. You have access to the WhatsApp number of your lecturer. So meaning that at any point in time, you can get across to your lecturer. So that's one. Then if there are any issues, maybe you send an information just like what Sister Sarah have said, and within 2-3 days, you could not get a response from the course lecturer. Of course, your HOD, you say, our dear Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "As-sayyidul qawmin khadimuhu." the head of an affair is more of a servant to that sector. So the head of department is mandatory on him or her to be able to respond to your query. So if you send a message to your course lecturer and of course, due to one reason or the other, after 3 days, he or she was unable to respond to you, you can quickly go to the head of department and seek further clarification. So this is very important for you to know that IOU is a unique university that ensure utmost satisfaction of our students. So then you also have a student discussion forum, yes, where students can have a kind of discussion, a kind of collaboration among themselves. Possibly there is an issue of teaching methods, as a topic. Someone from Pakistan as a student can post, an issue related to teaching methods. Then somebody in Nigeria can also collaborate by giving his own insight or ideas of teaching method. So, and the teacher as well can also come on board to try to align your discussion at the student discussion forum. So then we also have a forum which we call it Ask Teacher, where you can put a lot of your information. The question that you are asking the teacher, as I told you, the question goes to 3 or 4 officers. As I said, any question that you ask under Ask Teacher goes to not less than 3 officers. Number 1, it comes to me as the head of department. Then number 2, it goes to the course lecturer. And number 2, it goes to the admin of that particular course. And possibly at times, it also goes to the person called faculty manager that coordinates the affairs of all courses within the university. So I'm saying this for us to be able to know that IOU caters for the needs of all students and all our customers. So, and we always want to ensure that our students has a perfect knowledge, such a way that they will be able to contribute to the growth and development of their various environments. So I've seen on the chat box that there's no questions from our listeners. So we want to believe that all the discussions, all the deliberations from Sister Sarah is well digested by everyone. And I want to also use this medium to welcome you to the Department of Education. And inshallah, I wish you success in your academic endeavor in this university. Thank you very much. Wa jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The admin, thank you very much.
Jazakallah khairan, brother. Barakallah feekum. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Sister Sarah, thank you very much. Then we can now exit. Thank you. Jazakumullahu khairan.
चलो जी, ये वाला भी हो गया. अगर अब नहीं चलना है तो हम 25 मिनट में पहुंच सकते हैं. अभी 6 बजे उधर स्टार्ट करना है. नहीं